information made the markets ecstatic, and this should not be a surprise to anyone that's been watching this channel for almost a year now, because I said that the rates are going to go down between 2 and 3 months prior to the election. It's a very, very sensitive time, and markets are cheering, but the truth is going to come out after these rates drop. The data will come out around the first of the year that inflation has spiked. And this is being done just for a political move. And I want people to understand, if you watch Bidenomics and how the current president and other people in his staff have touted that the policies that they have put in place, which ironically are to enslave you even more, type 1 if you agree with that, that those are working, and they're going to be able to cheer this all next week. Now, before I talk about exactly what Powell spoke about, and it's very important that we go over that, I want you to look at what's going on in the markets right now. The 10-year bond is going down, right? Because people are cheering and they're speculating exactly like I said what's going to come in the markets here pretty soon. Gold is up over 1% because they're excited that rates are going down. Crypto, Bitcoin is hitting its 200-day moving average. I said that a few days ago. Even though I've sold my entire trading position, I am waiting to see. I still believe that the 200-day moving average is resistance for Bitcoin. And we're seeing all kinds of other things like the stock indexes rise, right? That's what happens when rates go down. People speculate, all right? I believe that next Monday, you're going to be hit with a barrage of what's called the truth. And that is that unemployment is rising. And that's why the Fed is now going, we can't let unemployment get too out of whack. If unemployment really starts to push higher, they're in trouble. All right. There's a fine line, a fine balance between getting prices, inflation down, and breaking the employment numbers. Okay. Wrecking jobs. So everyone's quoting the time has come. All right. And Jerome Powell said in his thing that the Federal Reserve was fast to act on this inflation. That is 100% a lie. As a matter of fact, his exact quote, if I could find, that the FOMC was swift to move on inflation. And if you remember, when I did a video, it was in 2021, I believe, December, when they said, hey, we're going to get on top of inflation next year in March or April. And I started yelling from the rooftops, you better refinance your homes now. You've got very little time. And a lot of people went out and did it, and they saved tens of thousands of dollars in those last 2 years on lower payments. But also, I said the Fed actually wants this inflation to get worse. They want a boogeyman. They always want someone to blame because they're reactionary. They're not proactive. And I'll give it today as an example. He goes, the time has come. The time has come. Things are looking better. That's all he said. Blanket statements. Inflation has eased greatly. The time has come. But he says, but we're still data dependent. Things still have to line up. The stars have to align, but the time has come. For what, Jerome? See, he's not going to lower rates until September because he knows that if I'm sure, hey, Jerome, how you doing? Everyone say hi to Jerome because I'm sure he's watching, because very few people have called this out and said this is when he's going to lower rates. And he's going to do it as a political move to appease the government. And what they're doing is they don't want the truth coming out until after the election. Oh, crap. Inflation wasn't, just like when Jerome Powell, remember, this guy is famous as saying, type 2 if you remember, inflation is transitory. It's not going to go anywhere. And I was on the channel going, it's not transitory. It's going to be a big deal. Get ready. And a lot of people got ready. They went out and they bought gold, they bought silver, they bought Bitcoin. And guess what? All of those people are worth more today than they were back then. Pretty cool, huh? When you actually see something coming. And my point being is that everyone is going to get whiplashed in the face come January. And what was really going to happen is, what's scary is a lot of people are going to blame the incoming president. All right. So this is all political. Also, something else I got to share real quick, because there was a big misunderstanding, if some people didn't get into the real estate master course. We are only opening this up for 3 days, and it's only for a handful of people. So the links were out yesterday. There's 3 slots left for today. Next day, we'll let 10 people in. Next day, we'll let 10 people in, and then it's done. So just letting you guys know that. So if the link doesn't work, that's because we're not letting a lot of people in. This is only for people that are ready to buy homes or rentals in the next 12 months. This is not a joke what we're doing with that group, okay? So if there's 3 links left, that's down below. Now, check this out. This is what's really interesting. Again, I'm catching, and I love catching the hate from people that don't know what I do for a living. It's really exciting. But like when I sold my crypto and I'm selling off pieces, like I'm moving liquid. Let's go. Ninja's going to cash because cash, I believe, is going to be king in the next 8 weeks. That's just me, though. Don't take financial advice. I live in my truck. I'm not very successful. All right. So just don't listen to me. It says here, and this is the famous line everyone wants to talk about: the time has come for policy to adjust. The central bank leader said in his much-awaited keynote address at the Fed's annual retreat in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. He says the direction of travel is clear, and the timing and pace of rate cuts will depend on incoming data, the evolving outlook, and the balance of risks. How do you like that? He's like, I am not going to answer any questions. I'm going to keep everyone guessing. Now, this is what they've done by doing this. Earlier today, or in this video, I said that the 10-year bond is down. So what they have done, Jerome Powell, through his side talk, Fed speak, has effectively lowered rates a little today. How do you like that? Today, if you go get a mortgage, it's a little bit less than yesterday because he was able to bring it down. That's one of the things they do. They like to use rhetoric and speech first to calm the markets down and get them thinking about a certain direction. But you have to remember, Europe is melting down right now. It's happening. It's in the news. The markets aren't melting down yet, but I do expect that to start pretty soon. And then the U.S. is short to follow, okay? Because we're so tied together. See, none of these interest rate decisions are changing what the BRICS nations do. They're still separating from us. They're starting still trade alliances amongst other countries. They're doing swap lines and new currency deals for trade. They don't care about what Jerome Powell's doing with the interest rate. But I can guarantee you one thing, Jerome Powell cares. He's watching this like a hawk. It's a big deal. And for all the people that went and bought gold, let's say 2 years ago, and are now watching the price of gold go up as real estate comes down, even though the government's lying to you about those numbers, you're going to find out soon enough. I try and point out all these lies about these government numbers, but most people just don't see it. But it's probably because I live in my car. If I drove a fancy car, people would probably listen to me, or had a 6-pack. That's what I'm told, but whatever. Point being is this. You can either choose to sit on the sidelines or be an active participant in this. I talk to entrepreneurs all the time, and I'm super excited about where we're going with this. Hey, I got to throw a shout out real quick. I don't know how to get this too. I'm trying to buy. I can't talk about that yet. Oh, wait, hold on. So Quentin gave a super chat, and this is what it says. Breaking news, Bank of Japan governor, I can't even pronounce his name. Global markets are unstable and the circus is back in session. I wouldn't be surprised if that was actually close to a real headline, because things are going really wacky in Japan. So none of this matters on what Jerome Powell's doing. However, a bunch of people that don't know how finance works are just dragging on his bait every breath. It's going to cause, just like I said about 4 days ago, it's going to cause a spike in Bitcoin, which it did. It's going to cause a spike in gold, which it did, and treasuries went down. So that's okay. I don't give a crap about what Jerome Powell says. I care about what he's going to do in a couple months. And I already told you all what he's going to do. So that's what's really cool. So hope you guys got something out of this. There are 3 slots left today. If the link doesn't work, they're out. And then tomorrow there'll be 10 more. And then the next day there'll be 10. And then we're closing that off to the public again. We've only sold this once, the Real Estate Masterclass. Hope you guys have a great day. The Economic Ninja is out.